Hope you are having an awesome day so far. It is Monday morning. Let me just get myself in position here. Hi, Zara. Let me just line myself up here. What's up, Laura? So, in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. My man, my woman, what's up? So I'm shooting this video. Hey, Zara. Shooting this video because I just got off of a call with somebody who, well, let me just tell you the story. So this is a person who's a professional like me. You know, you guys know I'm an eye doctor. I'm a semi-retired eye doctor. I work a lot from home now. But this person is also a professional. I'm not going to share any details about him simply because I don't want anybody to figure out who it is. But this is somebody that's a professional and they make a good living. But they work really hard to make a good living. They work a lot of hours of the week. They spend a lot of time away from home and their family, and they're working their job a lot. But when they do that, they make a really good income. So this person has decided a while ago, that he wanted to create more time freedom for himself. He's like, look, I've got money. That's not an issue. He's like, but I have to work really hard in order to have that money. He wants the time freedom, right? He wants the time to enjoy that money. Because there's two things, you know, you can have all the time in the world and no money to enjoy it, or all the money in the world and no time to enjoy it, right? Neither one of those situations are good. You need both. You need time freedom and you need financial freedom, right? You need to have both. You need the money to enjoy the time. You need the time to enjoy the money. So he's got money, he has no time, and he's fed up with that. So this has been going on for a while now. And the problem he has is, at this point, he has sort of settled. You know what I mean by settled? He's just kind of resigned himself to the fact that things are okay. You know, he's like, you know what? It's okay. He's been building a business on the side, working part-time from home, and it's not been developing like he wants. It's not been growing like he wants. And the reason for that, the main reason for that, is all right here. It's all in those 6 inches between his ears. Because of the fact that he makes good money at his job, he doesn't feel the pain and the pressure and the motivation to make this other business grow fast, like work hard at it. Because he doesn't feel the urgency that a lot of people do. A lot of people that I work with, you know, that maybe they've lost their job, or they hate their job, or they just need to make more money in order to make ends meet to pay the bills. He doesn't feel that same sense of urgency because he makes a good living. So in his mind, he keeps falling back on this safety net of, well, if this thing doesn't work, I still make good money with my job. And this is where I had to like punch him in the brain. You know, I literally gave him a brain punch, and I said, dude, I said, when we first started talking, you told me your goal was to get out of this job because it was killing you. You were working so many hours, you were working so hard. Yeah, you make decent money, but you live at work, right? You got married, you never see your wife, you have kids, you never see them. You never get to spend time living life. You're living at work. And yeah, it makes you money, but in the end, what does that leave? You know, it's, so the problem is his goals aren't really goals. They're dreams. And the difference, if you don't understand the difference between a dream and a goal is a dream with a deadline. You understand? You set a time in which you're going to make it happen. So when you have a goal, you need to set some parameters around it, right? What am I going to do to make it happen? You have to make it smart. You guys heard the term SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T. You have to make it sensible. You have to make it, specific. You have to make it attainable. You have to make it realistic. You have to make it measurable, and you have to make it, you have to set a time. That's what SMART stands for. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time. That's what SMART stands for when you're setting a goal. So you have parameters around which you're going to make this happen and which you're going to achieve this. But when you have a dream, it's a wish. You're basically just wishing something was different. You're wishing you could accomplish something or have something. Specific, exactly, Zara. Yeah, you have to be specific about what you want. You have to be specific about when you're going to make it happen. You have to be specific about what you're going to do to make it happen. And you have to set those things in place, and then you have to adhere to that plan. Otherwise, your goal is simply just a dream. It's a wish. And because he's doing well at his job, making a lot of money, he doesn't have the urgency to turn that dream into a goal, to turn that wish into a specific, measurable deadline. It's so important. Laura, you know this. I mean, we work with people all the time that want something and aren't willing to put in the work to get it. Ironically, he puts in a lot of work at his job and it pays him well, but it's not creating the time freedom that he wants. And the only way to change that is you have to do something differently. Because the reality is, he's locked in this job. Like, he makes good money, he's got a lifestyle that's based upon the money that he makes at this job. And when I say lifestyle, I mean, you know, lives in a certain house, lives in a certain car, that kind of thing. But he has no time freedom. No time freedom. And I'm sure you know people like that. You know people that have lots of money and no time, or lots of time but no money to enjoy it. And you need to have a good mix. So I basically told him, look, you have settled. You have settled in your life and you have resigned yourself to the fact that this is the way life is going to be, because you're not willing to take the action necessary to change it. And keep in mind, this is somebody that's successful. This is somebody who's a professional. So a lot of times we have fear or hesitation talking to these people a certain way, but they're just people. I don't care what their job title is. I don't care what their job description is. They're just people. And sometimes they need to hear what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And sometimes you have to be the person to say it. And that's what I did. I told this guy, I laid it on the line. I'm like, look, dude, I said, you've settled. You have settled in life. Yeah, you have a good job. Yeah, you make good money, but you're not living. You're working. You live at work. And you said it yourself. You never see your wife. You never see your kids. You never get to do the things you want to do. You're not living life. You're living at work. And all that money you're making, great. You live in a nice house. You drive a nice car. You sleep. You drive back to your job. You drive home. You sleep. You drive back to your job. So you're sleeping in this house. You could be sleeping anywhere. Living to work. Yeah, exactly. So I basically, just like I said, I brain punched him and I said, look, you have settled in your life and you're letting your family down. Exactly, Laura. He's working to live instead of living to work. I'm sorry, he's living to work instead of working in order to live. You're right. And I basically told him, you have settled on yourself and you have settled on your family, because you yourself said you don't spend any time or enough time with your wife and your kids, and that isn't going to change until you do. And it's all right here. It's all right here. It's all mindset. It's all choice. It's all a decision. It's all action. And it all starts with your thoughts. Because if you feel like, you know what, it's okay, like I'm not broke, I'm not unhappy, you can excuse your way out of doing something new or different all day long. And that's what this guy's doing. He's settling simply because he makes good money at his job. But here's the question I would ask. This is what I asked him, and this is what I'll ask you. Whatever you think is right, it's right. Yeah, you can talk yourself into anything. Absolutely. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, right? That's the Henry Ford quote. So this is what I asked him, and I'll ask you the same thing. What happens if he loses that job? Right? All that income gone. So, you know, God forbid he gets in a car accident today on the way to work, and, you know, he can't work, like he gets severely injured. Or what if somebody in his family, what if his wife gets, you know, terminally ill and he has to be with them 24/7? Or what if he just gets laid off? What if the company downsizes and says, you know what, you're making too much money, we can replace you, we can outsource you, boom, you're gone. Because the second it makes sense for a company to let you go and replace you, they will. It's that simple. So what happens all of a sudden if this job he's making good money at isn't there anymore? Now all of a sudden he's like motivated, right? But the thing is, you have to focus on your plan B before you need it. You know, the analogy I always use is people, when they jump out of an airplane, they bring 2 parachutes, always. Why? Because if parachute number 1 doesn't open, you better believe you need a second one. Because if not, you're screwed. And this is what I tell people all the time. It's like, you know, you're not worried about your plan B because you have your plan A. But if your plan A falls out from under you, you're screwed. Because you had every opportunity to create your plan B and didn't. So I gave this guy a wake-up call this morning. I literally gave him a brain punch, and he didn't like it. He was uncomfortable with the things I was saying. Hey, what's up, Garrett? He was uncomfortable with the things I was saying, but he needed to hear that. Like I said, you can't always tell people what they want to hear. Sometimes you need to tell them what they need to hear, and they will respect you more for it. So I gave that guy a lot to think about today. I don't know what's going to come of it. I don't know if he'll do anything differently, but I told him what he needed to hear. And sometimes that's exactly what people need. So I hope you understand the difference, like I broke it down, between a dream and a goal, okay? Need to give people wake-up calls. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I gave this guy a wake-up call today. He needed it. He needed it because he was settling on himself, he was settling on his family, he was settling on his life, and he wasn't happy. Admittedly so. His words, not mine. So just wanted to share this, guys, with you. I hope you got some value from this. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the hearts. Again, my name is Dr. Steve. If you want to connect with me, my Facebook contact information is right there. My blog information is right there, and you can check out my website right there, periscopedoc.com. So I hope you got some value from this. Remember to talk to people the way they need to be spoken to, okay? Don't be afraid based on a job title or what it is they do, if they're a professional or not. It doesn't matter. You're a product of your past. You don't need to be a prisoner from it. Exactly. Exactly. And guess what? Your past does not dictate your future, right? You can make a change anytime you decide to, but like I said, it all starts right here. It all starts with your thoughts. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for being on. Hope you have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. My name is Dr. Steve. Go connect with me on Facebook here. You can check out my blog. Lots of free content and value there. And there's my website. So appreciate you being here. See you, Garrett. Thanks for hopping on, my man. Talk to you soon.